Afghanistan. This is a land of grief and sorrow, a land of hopelessness. At any moment, you could be kidnapped. At any moment, you could be killed. Even so, today in this video, we'll take an amazing journey through this country. If you're ready, let's start the video. The official name of this country is the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. Its area is 652,000 square kilometers, with vast borders surrounded by mountains. This country has a population of over 42 million people, and Sharia law governs it. Imagine a country where, on its streets, you can see hundreds of people lying unconscious on street corners because of drug use. In Afghanistan, there are 3.5 million drug addicts. People who have traveled to this country know that 80 out of every 100 people use light or hard drugs. The root of all these problems traces back to the Soviet War that began in 1979. Radical terrorist organizations, civil wars, and around 20 years of American occupation caused millions of people to lose their lives and left thousands of children orphaned and without guardians. Poverty and ultimately the pressures brought by the Taliban led to the creation of a psychologically traumatized generation that was pushed towards drug use. There is no unity in this country. Pashtuns make up 40% of the population, Tajiks 22%, and Turkish people such as Uzbeks, Turkmens, and Kyrgyz make up 20%. Most of these ethnic groups spent long years in civil war. The Turkish language is very common in Afghanistan because Turkish people form a significant part of the population, and also because Afghans who illegally went to Turkey and later returned learned Turkish. Perhaps it could be said that Afghans' greatest wish is to live in a country like Turkey. But when you ask them what they think of Turkey, they say, Turkey is a beautiful country, but Sharia should be established there too. This is the Nuristan region of Afghanistan. Its old name was Kafiristan. The Kalash people live here. This ethnic group lives in an altitude of 3,000 meters in the Hindu Kush mountains and is scattered across Afghanistan and Pakistan. The Kalash people are a very mysterious community. They are known as the lost tribe of Alexander the Great. When Alexander continued his conquest in these lands, his soldiers left behind a generation of descendants. Indeed, their beliefs and lifestyle are very different. For example, Kalash women go to a special house in the village during menstruation and childbirth, and no one sees them for several days. Their graves are made out of wooden coffins left open. Their beliefs are rooted in ancient Greek Buddhism and Zoroastrianism, which is why this region is called Kafiristan, land of the infidels. This region lies among high mountains, and because of this difficulty of access and snow-covered roads, this people has been able to live in this area to this day. They are referred as the descendants of Alexander the Great. This is the city of Bamiyan in Afghanistan, appearing like a green oasis amid dry lands. But what makes this place special is the presence of Buddha statues. Magnificent, isn't it? Today, however, this statue no longer exists in this form. These astonishing works are 1400 years old, but in 2001, by order of Mullah Muhammad Omar, leader of the Taliban, these statues were destroyed so that no one could worship them in the future. Now let's see what life in Afghanistan is like. In 2021, with the end of America's 20-year occupation, the Taliban group took control of this country. And now, Afghanistan is governed under Sharia law. Their spiritual leader is Hibatullah Akhundzada, and their prime minister is Hassan Akhund. Taliban rule has brought with it unbelievable restrictions. For example, women's education at the secondary, high school and university levels has recently been banned in Afghanistan. Sports and artistic activities are forbidden for them. Professions such as law and judging are forbidden for them. Traveling alone over long distances is forbidden. Wearing makeup, nail polish, and unconventional clothing is forbidden. Working in government offices, the health sector, and private sector is heavily restricted for them. Obtaining a driver's license is forbidden for them. And entering parks and social spaces is only permitted on certain days and when accompanied by a male family member. Wearing the burqa, a fully covering type of garment, is not mandatory, but the hijab is part of the law and mandatory, with the degree of strictness enforced varying from city to city. For example, in Kabul, women go out alone. Men are banned from growing beards in the Western style, styling their hair in the Western style, and wearing Western style clothing. Any kind of Western music and film is also banned. Of course, some people have found ways to break these rules. The use of any alcoholic beverage is forbidden, while drug use faces no obstacles. Under Taliban rule, insulting or even criticizing the religion of Islam carries the death penalty. If you want to enter this country through a land border, be sure you'll encounter things you'll never forget. After crossing the border, dozens of children gather around you. These children quickly rush at you and steal your belongings within seconds. Then you'll be met by dozens of taxi and minibus drivers who are seriously holding an auction to win you as a customer. You'll be shocked to see how hard they try just for a few dollars. There is no legal system or set of laws in this country. All authority and almost every armed person you see on the streets belongs to the Taliban forces, who patrol with Kalashnikovs in hand and have the right to intervene in anything. They can simply beat or arrest someone. For this reason, everyone is afraid of them. Without their permission, you can't do anything. And when they do give permission, no one can stop you. Even to travel to another city, you must get written permission from the Taliban. To avoid drawing international reactions, they genuinely show respect towards Muslims or non-Muslims tourists who travel to Afghanistan. And as long as they follow the rules, there is no interference. But if you try to criticize the Taliban, you can guess what will happen. Afghanistan has the lowest book reading rate in the world. It is also one of the 5 least developed and poorest countries in the world. The state of poverty in this country is such that some people live in caves due to lack of resources. But I'm more concerned about the situation of children in this country. Because of prolonged wars and poverty, thousands of children have been sold by their own families. Problems such as child labor, deprivation of education, and psychological effects of war cause children to turn to drug use at a very young age. This situation is horrifying from child rights standpoint. Seeing children who go out early in the morning with sacks on their shoulders working just to survive is heartbreaking. In this country, there is a horrific tradition called bayat, especially in rural areas. To resolve disputes between families, daughters of the families are exchanged with one another or handed over one-sidedly to the other family. Worse than that, there is another horrific tradition called bachabazi that has continued for centuries. Boys who are kidnapped from their families at a young age, sold by their own families, or left orphaned, are dressed and adorned like women and subjected to abuse at entertainment gatherings. This tradition of bachabazi, which is mainly prevalent among Pashtuns, is still widely continued despite having been banned for years. In a government statement, it was noted that ending this is difficult because many of those involved in this crime belong to powerful armed warring factions. But Afghanistan was not actually, from the beginning, a country so full of chaos, hopelessness, and danger. Let's go back a bit in this story. The date is August 19, 1919. Afghanistan's leader, Amanullah Khan, after years of war with the British, declared Afghanistan's independence. Amanullah's goal was to build a modern country. Amanullah Khan brought equal rights for women and men, a modern education system, equal rights and modern laws to this country. He also banned polygamy. Amanullah Khan was close to the Russians, and the British had a plan for him. They incited tribes and many religious groups against Amanullah Khan. Amanullah Khan wanted to bring Turkey's constitution to his country and implement it there, but the British spies, exploiting people's religious sentiments and using the phrase, "This is Amanullah Khan's book" and "This is God's book," stirring up people and religious tribes against them. Unfortunately, Amanullah Khan, due to pressure from religious groups and tribes who were backed by the British, was forced to hand over the control and leave the country. Although reform movements in Afghanistan continued into the 1970s with the Soviet occupation and the start of the Civil War, along with the American support for religious groups such as the Taliban against the Soviets, local organizations were strengthened. In the end, the reforms that had never reached a significant portion of the people have today been almost completely erased. Today, about 90% of Afghanistan's people support the Sharia system. Of course, this figure may be high because of fear of the Taliban. Even so, researchers believe that the people of Afghanistan who have been forcibly religionized are gradually distancing themselves from religion. Now let's take a look at Afghanistan's economic situation. Afghanistan is one of the poorest countries in the world. It is not easy to talk about individuals' net income in this country, but according to the United Nations Development Program, about 85% of Afghans live on less than $1 a day. Even so, if we also account for the informal economy, this figure might rise a bit higher. Overall, because of the country lacks the industrial agriculture, it tends more towards meat consumption, and food is relatively cheap. Until the Taliban came to power in 2021, Afghanistan supplied 80% of the world's poppy production, and about 4 million Afghans earned income through poppy cultivation and drug production. But the Taliban's ban on poppy cultivation caused serious economic damage, and in its place, the production of other chemical drugs began. Afghanistan is still among the top 5 drug-producing countries in the world. International aid organizations carry out extensive activities to reduce poverty in this country. But because women also work in these organizations, the Taliban has imposed heavy restrictions on them. This has led to an ever-increasing rise in poverty in the country, to the point that Afghanistan's GDP in 2023 was recorded at only $17 billion. So, are you eager to travel to this country as a tourist? I'd be happy if you wrote your thoughts for me in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you in the next video with the world of untold stories.